What's going on, everyone? My name is Chris and welcome to Stellaris. I'm really excited to be going into this with you guys, and I've only had a couple times experience with the game. I actually just picked it up on sale recently, so I've only gotten a few chances to go through and try out some different kingdoms and styles of play, but I've actually kind of decided on what I want to do right here on YouTube. I've decided I want to start with an executive committee called the Argonaut Accord. We are going to be a oligarchy that has functional architecture, meritocracy, egalitarianism. We're xenophiles, which means that we want to go find people. And I feel like this is actually a really good way to play this game just because of how many empires there are at the start. And we're actually going to be going materialist as well because don't want to have slaves, but I feel like robots are something that a Federation style, almost Star Trek like group would develop. We're going to be playing as humans. We are weak and wasteful because of our style of living, but we're also intelligent, enduring, and quick learners, which means that we're going to have a lot of advantages when it comes to science. We're going to be playing in standard humanoid ships with mass drivers and warp travel, just to kind of throw in a little bit of roleplay towards the Star Trek Federation style of system. Not going to be playing it to a T, but similar. We're going to be sticking with the standard details besides going to a huge star system and a spiral four-arm galaxy. Same number of starting empires. Fallen empires are going to be good. I don't have any of the DLC yet, but that is something I'm looking to get into. But it looks like we have everything set up here. We can just go ahead and jump on in. So here we go. In the eons since the first primitive human communities took shape in the meadows and forests of Terra, our civilization has spread and prospered. The chaotic periods of early history eventually gave rise to a new society, which unified our people as none had done before. Succumbing neither to tyranny nor to the ignorance of the masses, our society evolved into one that is ruled fairly by a just and unbiased bureaucratic machine. Now, after the successful creation of several experimental subspace fields, the finest minds of the Argonaut Accord have finished the development of the first warp drives. The stars themselves can finally be within our grasp. Alright. Let's begin. So, we're starting out in the Sol system, but our planet's going to be named Terra just to give it a bit of a different feel from Earth. And we are starting out in the kind of standard start. We have two continental worlds right here. Ooh, a 3-planet system. A 3-planet system is a great start. And if we zoom out here, we're actually starting at a really good location because we'll be able to kind of chunk out this for ourselves, I hope. Early on, get a nice little line of an empire right here. So we're going to kind of get into these first pieces of management. We'll select our research. We'll go with solar panels to get our energy up first because when we get colonies going, very important. Ooh, this is interesting. Let's actually get a bio lab going so we can start focusing research more because I think that's going to be the main thing that we want to do here. And dang it. You know what, we're going to do engineering again, not only because we have a specialist here for industry, which means that she'd probably like to do that, Thelma, you're welcome, but we also have a biology expert here, but the only thing, I wonder if there's something we can do. Oh, there is. Looks like we're going with our first labs. I actually like that, getting those labs right out of the way, because they're important early game things to boost our research time. We're also going to be getting our science ship going. Something I've seen other people do is go in and select individually what planets to survey. I usually like to just kind of give the bulk order to my science ship to go around and get these first planets out of the way pretty quickly. So we're just going to go ahead and quickly jump around to all these systems. And we're going to do these continental worlds a bit later on in the trek just because it's a bit expensive early on to do it, to go ahead and try and colonize worlds. But we'll get that science ship underway. Here they are. This is the first military fleet of the United Terran Federation. In orbit around Earth with our beautiful space station in the background. The visuals of this game are just fantastic. It's one of the things that I've really kind of just come to love immediately about playing this game. So one of the other things that we can actually really get into here is ship design. And right now we don't really have enough pieces to actually start going in and designing our own ships because we just don't have any technology research, so we're with the base components. But as we get more technologies unlocked, we're actually going to be able to upgrade warp drives, thrusters, sensors, weapons array, shielding, armor, any kind of specialist slots that we want. In our military ships, we can actually customize the loadout of our ships completely And we're actually going to get access to more types and styles of ships too, which means that we're going to be able to customize the fleet to be however we're going to be able to customize this fleet to fight best against whatever kind of enemy force we're facing. The next thing that we're going to want to do is get a new science ship going, actually, because as you can tell, it's going to take him a while just to get through our own system, let alone all the ones that we want to research around here. All the ones that we want to search around here.
Construction complete.
Spaceport on Terra. There we go. So now we actually have our second ship, the ISS Arbiter. Alright, let's see. Who are we going to go for here? So what we see here is actually their trait, aka a specialty for the scientist. So we have things like New Worlds research bonuses, biology research bonuses, voidcraft, and rocketry. And I think rocketry sounds like a good thing. And we're spending influence to pick up these new leaders. And right now it's 50 influence a leader, and that's really high. Terraforming candidate discovered. Our detailed survey of Mars has revealed that it may have once supported life in the distant past. There are significant deposits of frozen water on the polar ice caps beneath the planet's surface. The existence of the valley network suggests that the water may have once flowed freely. Terraforming this planet would be theoretically possible, but we do not yet possess the technology to accomplish this monumental task within a realistic timeline. So that is actually kind of hinting at something we can do later on in the game. And it looks like we've actually started to find some of the first resources in our system too. So we actually have minerals on Juno 3, which is an asteroid inside of the asteroid belt. 4 Vesta has some resources as well, and Saturn actually has the ability to produce some energy. So we can build mining stations around these planets to actually start generating that. So our science ship now has an officer deployed. We can actually go ahead and start sending her out on survey missions. We're going to send her to the outer ring of systems here around our home world, just because it'll be useful to have her start seeing what's further around us to start expanding. So these planets are great to have inside of our own system, but the problem is that they won't expand our borders that much, versus if we were to come out to a system out here, maybe even up here a bit, we could find a planet that's habitable and actually start building out our territory, getting more resources. Ooh. So we actually have some research potentials around Venus too. So you can see up here that as we research our technologies, what we need to do is we store extra research that we can then input into that. So we generate research from the actual labs that we have on our planet. So we just have Terra right now, and we only have some basic systems set up here. Enemy encounter. Oh gosh. Okay, hold up. Stuff is happening. So, we have encountered some form of alien vessels in the Eclinda system. These strange objects have been flagged as alpha aliens, and we should proceed with caution. Interesting. And then, the Argonaut Accord has finally encountered fellow wanderers among the stars. Despite their intentions being unknown and potentially even hostile, the atmosphere on Terra, following the report of the contact fleet, can be best described as rapturous. So, one thing that's rapturous, I can't determine. Okay, if it's rapturous, that's bad. If it's rupturous, it's good. If it's rapturous, that's are they thinking it's? I think it's a good thing. I think that they're happy. I think they're happy. I'm happy. We're xenophiles. We should be happy that we found people. Oh, but they're hostile.
Hostile fleet.
Who did we find? What is this? Oh, can't even see it with the star. It's an alien vessel. Well, they said they put something in our situation log. So we need to learn more about these mysterious aliens that we have codenamed the Alpha Aliens. If they possess a language, we must decipher and establish some communications. So we're going to get influence or a special project from doing this, but it's going to take 9 months of research to find out what these are. It's the first alien life we found. I feel like we have to. Let's see if we get anything. It just says alien vessels. Wow. Okay, so we're not going to be able to touch them for a little bit because our military power is only at 96 and they're 6.5 times our strength. Yeah, we're not going to be going near them for a little bit, I think, unfortunately. Oh, but our construction ship is ready to go, so we're going to go ahead and actually start telling him to build research stations for us in our system. So that's what these minerals are actually mainly used for, is building items. So things like ship production from our shipyards, or building research stations, or even mining stations around planets. We need to have the resources available to do them. So for instance, each one of these mining stations right now costs 90 resources. So it's going to take us a little bit to kind of start building up that production to make it happen. But one thing that is nice is we can actually start another one. Really? Where are we finding these right now? All in these systems outside of us. Really? Okay, so not going to be moving this direction anytime soon. Oh, and there is a potentially habitable world there. So these two systems are kind of a no-go zone for us right now, unfortunately. Just because there's hostile aliens, and we don't have any kind of military to deal with them. We're going to go ahead and start actually upgrading our capital world, our home world, to start getting us a bit more resources and minerals flowing in. So we're going to be building things like mining networks in order to help produce us a few more resources. And we're actually also going to be, well, when we can afford it, we're going to be building a science lab. If there's one thing I do really want to give credit to, is just the atmosphere in this game is incredible. Being able to sit here like this and look at our ships in orbit around Earth with our station. There's Jupiter in the background with Titan orbiting around it. The scale isn't exact, but you know what? Like, the graphics just, they make me feel really good inside. They're nice. Ooh. So we actually just finished surveying our home system. Excellent. So it actually looks like we don't have to deal with any enemies out here. And this is the first planet that we don't have sensors on that we've actually encountered. So welcome to Procyon A. The first system that we're going to be able to fully survey outside of our known space. That's a pretty big deal, guys. We started out just one planet, and already we've started to expand into the galaxy. You can see our borders slowly growing as we build out more stations and materials. What is that? We have something kind of just flying through our space real quick. Didn't even stop to say hello. I'm going to get a Corvette going for us as well, just because I want to start building up that military fleet a little bit. Something tells me that we're not alone in this universe. Not to mention the game. So we're actually out of minerals right now. We're going to have to take some time here just to kind of build up our resources. Our scientists have finished work on the void clouds. An investigation into the peculiar cluster of debris and space dust has yielded a surprising result. It is a particulate cloud bristling with a powerful charge of unknown origin that has no business exhibiting reflexive actions, let alone movements with purpose. And yet it does. There is something undeniably ominous about how hazy the subject is in this relayed video feeds. Perhaps there are things in the universe we should not tangle with. Let us watch, but not interfere.
Situation log updated.
So now we have a new research project available to investigate the aliens. A colossal impact crater has been found on Bernard Star 1. Something big collided with the surface of this planet once. Vague. Intriguing.
Complete.
Let's research it. So here's the planet Bernard Star 1, where we actually just found this anomaly. Our science ship is coming in. The ISS Aclacity. No.
Construction complete.
Ooh. So the creator has finished his building missions. We have the Argonaut Accords ISS Alacrity performing a research project for us right now. Our first stumbling into the steps of the void beyond Terra were not motivated by solely by curiosity or a desire to conquer the unknown, or even a need to leave our mark on the galaxy. The biosphere of Terra has undergone rapid changes in the past few centuries. Prominent scientists warn that Terra may be faced with beginnings of a mass extinction event. That cyclical purging of life is inseparable from planetary existence in the greater cosmos. What? A research plan has been put together to study a number of planets rendered uninhabitable by major astronomical incidents or planet-bound catastrophes. We hope that by reconstructing these events, a similar fate may be avoided for Terra and the human race. If it falls to you as the chairwoman of the Argonaut Accord to ensure that the expedition is carried out, we have to consult the situation log for details. We have to begin the mass extinction through the ages event chain for a Federation future.
Situation log updated.
Well, that just got serious. Oh, what? This planet walls in its own infernal crucible. So it looks like we have some projects to work on here. Let's see. Looking at the situation log, if we track these, we should be able to get an idea. Oh, wow. So that one's way over there. That one's up there. That one's there. That one's there. So we'll find these as we go. As we encounter these systems, we'll be able to go in and research those projects. But I'm not feeling too rushed to go and complete those, because I don't think that that mass extinction event will happen soon. Hopefully. That would be a very short game. But we now know without a doubt that a thriving biosphere is not something unique to Terra. Both scientific... So we just completed our first habitable world survey. We now know that without a doubt, thriving biosphere is not something unique to Terra. Both the scientific community and the public at large are eager to learn more about the various forms of life found throughout the galaxy. Efforts to catalog the life forms we encounter are already underway, but our xenobiologists have urged us to focus on planetary survey efforts on habitable, life-bearing worlds. I'd say that's a commendable initiative.
Log updated.
Oh, and another new project in the situation log. We have to survey 8 habitable worlds. I think we can manage that. We already have, what, 4 queued up? Halfway there.
Survey complete.
Alright, so our construction ship is sitting here right now, and we can't actually send him to do anything because we don't have the resources available to make that happen, unfortunately. Let's look at Terra real quick. Ooh, we have a new encounter. We have encountered some form of alien vessel in the ArgoChris system. These strange objects have been flagged as beta aliens until we can learn more about them. We should proceed with caution. Well, interesting. Let's see what we have here. Ooh. Oh. They're giant space squids. That right there is a beautiful shot. Ooh. A massive crater on Bernard Star 1 appears to be the result of a collision with a starship. We haven't lost any starships. From the size of the crater, we suspect the ship traveling at full warp rammed into the planet for reasons unknown roughly 10,000 years ago. The ISS Alacrity has picked up residual subspace echoes near the crash site, reminiscent of a collapsed warp field, but as the ship itself disintegrated on impact, the theory cannot be verified. I think we might actually just kind of try and push out, just build out in Sol, and then wait for that resource to build up. Because I think right now we do have a bit